Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things.
Spotlight in an empty room, a song in the silence. My dreams come in.
We first met at church. I work at Hope Church in Dallas, Georgia, and before I worked there, I was a kid going there, and a kid met another kid named Morgan Fire, and she ended up becoming my fiance, and soon to be bride.
So when I first met him, he was like the craziest kid. He was wild. He was crazy, but he's so different now, like from the time I met him until we started dating. He's like totally different now.
First impression when I met Morgan was that she was kind and funny, and quickly realized that she is also stern in her beliefs.
And he makes me feel like I can be 100% authentically myself all the time, and I never feel like I have to pretend or be somebody different. I just always am who I am with him.
Something I can't deny.
I know everybody says this, but I mean it. I knew I wanted to marry Morgan a year before I started dating her.
Stories being written by you, pouring over me.
All right.
I see you now with you.
Morgan, I didn't know it was possible for me to love someone like I love you. By the time I was old enough to be open to true love, I didn't know if I was ever going to be one of the people that got to experience it. But then you came around, and I knew I had to have you. A wise man told me once, you know when something is a calling, when it turns from a want to a need. And from the moment we truly entered each other's lives, I knew I needed you. From that day, all the way to this day, I made a choice to pursue no one but you. And since we're talking about choices, let me tell you mine. I choose to love you in every season of life. I choose to put you before me as well as your needs. I choose to protect, cherish, and take care of you no matter what comes our way. And I choose to make this covenant and build our life on God. Morgan Paige Vire, I choose you. P.S. Dang, you look good.
Christian, most vows start with, from the moment I met you, I knew you were the one, but mine surely won't. We both know that when we first met, we were just two kids in youth group, and if you would have told 15-year-old me that we'd be standing here today, I wouldn't have ever believed you. When I look back on the timeline of our relationship, I can now see God's hand in it from start to finish. He put you in my life to be who I needed you to be from the very moment our paths crossed. At 15, you were a friend who could always make me laugh. At 23, when I was walking through the worst season of my life, you were the person who never left my side. Through it all, and today, at 25, you're my very best friend, my confidant, and the very man of my dreams. Though I didn't know this is where we'd end up, as I look back on our story, you were always exactly who I needed when I needed it, and I know now that that was God's plan for us all along. Today, I vow to always put you second and put God first. I promise to love you, even when we aren't getting along. I promise to support you, even when I disagree with you. I promise to allow you to lead our family for the rest of our lives together. I promise to trust you, even when your plans seem crazy. I will always honor you, respect you, and care for you as long as we both shall live. I love you today more than I've ever loved you, and I know that love will only get stronger moving forward. I couldn't ask for a better partner in this life, and I am so excited for you to finally be my husband.
It is now my pleasure to present to you for the very first time, Mr. and Mrs. Thrilling. You may kiss.